All right, what's up, everybody? This is Brian. I'm here with Israel, Vince, and Steve. Steve is our good friend from a long time ago. He's a singer from the band Cave Bastard. And today we're gonna talk to Steve about his band, how things are going, what's coming up, and stuff like that. And then after that, we're gonna kind of go through some news of metal stuff happening here in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about the different bands that are have a lot of stuff coming up. A lot of news with a lot of the local scene. And if you haven't heard about San Diego bands, this is the show for you. So yeah.
Yeah. So after we talk to Steve, stick around because we're gonna talk about a lot of these bands. A lot of the content we got about the bands is from our little group on Facebook, the SUmetal.org group, and we just asked bands what's been going on. So this is what they said. Mm-hmm. So anyway, welcome, Steve.
Thanks, guys. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been tuning in since the start of Metal Swap Talk, and what you guys are doing is cool. So it's just an honor to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
Of course.
And you volunteer at the swap meeting.
Yeah.
You kick ass. If you go to the Metal Swap meeting, you've seen Steve.
That's right. So if you see a guy with long hair and usually a straw hat, freaking out until the final hour, that's going to be me. So
he keeps everybody in shape over there while we're getting drunk and doing nothing.
We appreciate your help, Steve.
It's an honor. What you guys have been doing has been great. Starting with the first one right here at Metal Headquarters, right in the front yard. Didn't volunteer that day, but I did sell $1 Coors Lights out of a cooler, Coors Lights cans. So
those were the days.
Those were the days, man.
Simpler times.
Exactly, but no, it's great. Any way that I can help for the event, for San Diego Metal, help put San Diego Metal on the map, which I think that it has done. It's been a great service to the metal community, so it's an honor and a pleasure, and I get to hang out with you guys. I've known you guys for a long time, and it's a great honor for sure.
Well, I appreciate that, and for people that don't know you, obviously I've known you for almost close to 20 years or something.
Close to that.
Maybe give some people background about you and you're dealing with metal and everything, being in bands and.
Well, first got interested in being in a band probably when I was 13, so we're talking, probably about 23 years ago. First started wanting to be in a band mainly because I got to know the guys in Civil Unrest. If you remember that band, they were from Oceanside. That's what really inspired me first, and it was in middle school is when I met Brian Schuff, who we all know that we were in the same band together, Gut Rot, back in the early 2000s. He went on to be in Death Evocation. Yep. And, we just got together, started. I didn't even play bass at the time. I was like, I'm just going to do vocals. Didn't know what I was doing. We were just a bunch of kids in my bedroom, just him on a guitar and me with a microphone and an old reel-to-reel that my dad had probably since the early 70s. So went through high school and, jammed out. That was when I met our good buddy Jeff. We all know Jeff. Jeff Korecki, Jeff Gutrot. Mm-hmm. And, we had our band Gutrot for a good number of years. And then, eventually in the late 2000s, we became Ritual Torture as our sound began to change. And, unfortunately, Ritual Torture ceased, but I got the call from my old buddy Troy about 6.5 years ago. He had started a new band and started a band called Cave Bastard. So I'm like, yeah, sure. We didn't have a name yet, but I'd been around for a while up until that point. It was thanks to the old SDmetal.org metal forum that I think a lot of us met each other and a lot of us became friends and reaching out and getting to know people and stuff. So I could say, I probably wouldn't be where I am now if it wasn't for you and Jared and to get really that site going. So
well, we gained as much out of it as you did too. So
yeah,
it was a good time. It kind of like pre-social media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The first time I met some of you guys were at the Xanth when you guys played there.
Yeah, the Club Xanth, dude. Yeah.
You guys weren't even old enough, right?
Well, at the time,
that was all ages.
It was all ages, yeah. So if any of you familiar, Belching Beaver's still there, right?
Belching Beaver on 30th Street, North Park is Where Club Xanth used to be.
Yeah,
Same building.
so and before it was called Club Xanth, it was called the Empire Club.
Yep.
So Club Xanth was mostly like a goth club. They had a lot of goth dance nights, goth acts and stuff. But it was one Sunday a month, I believe. It was the Catacombs, which was first started by
Dave Lewis.
Dave Lewis, yes.
Dave Lewis.
Yeah, Dave Lewis. And then was taken over by Dusty Mulkey, who we also know as Scorn Eternal from Eternal Unborn, if anyone remembers that band. And so, we got to play, I think, a couple of Catacombs. We did one with Stormbringer, I remember, I think in April of 2002.
Yeah, they were good.
And mind you, this is Gutrot back in the day, so we played with Stormbringer. Maybe Season of Decay was on that bill, too. Noctuary was on that show.
Yeah.
Noctuary was on that show. And then
They kind of became a house band after that.
yeah. I mean, Noctuary got to come down, and terrific guys. By
Yeah,
the
we
way.
were all just like
terrific
terrific
guys.
So it was like hanging out with your friends while singing a great band.
Yeah, I mean, also too with Noctuary, and then even a related band, Winterthrall.
Winterthrall,
We got to become such good friends with them. We kind of forgot that they were not from San Diego. They were from L.A. Orange County, but it was like they were so rad. It was just really cool just to always see those guys and hang out with them. But anyway, later on in 2002, September 1st, Gutrot with his original lineup actually played our final show, and we played with Dota Cameron from TJ. It was their first US show. Opus Majestic, you remember the Christian black metal band? As well as, who played after us? I think it was just maybe 4 bands. I think Season of Decay played after us, yeah. But
Sounds right.
yeah, but that was a fun show, and we were all just a bunch of teenagers, So anytime that we played like the Playhouse, we had to hang out outside until it was time for us to play and tear down our gear and leave, and same thing with Brick by Brick, that was it. I mean, you get into it young, you pay your dues by not being able to hang out. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
So.
Different times.
Yeah, way different times, for sure. Way different times. But yeah, we all remember Guts. So he used to throw a lot of parties in a central area of San Diego where a lot of us got to hang out and listen to metal and headbang and drink Ava's Bush and.
Most disgusting liquor in existence.
I just got sick when you said that.
Yeah.
I threw up in my desk.
So if you ever want to look it up, it's called Ava's Bush. It's a liqueur from this small town in Germany. I mean, I'd rather drink fucking rubbing alcohol than this shit. I mean, it's got this weird, like, cinnamon taste
I
to
thought
it.
it was like that orange kind of hand soap weird.
No, it's more like
soap or something weird.
I remember it being herbally, but
very
in a
herbally.
bad way.
It's like gin times a million. It's just completely awful, and it gets you really fucking messed up.
And you get insanely drunk after like just 1 or 2 shots of that, and if you get carried away, your night is fucking ruined.
Yeah.
You're gonna think that you're dying.
Yeah.
And
If you get carried away, you're gonna get carried away.
Yeah.
Like literally carried away.
Exactly.
It's bad stuff.
yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Good time.
So
So fast forward to Cave Bastard.
Yes.
yeah, what's
This
going on with that?
band originally was started by Troy Oftedal, ex Cattle Decapitation. You come into Cave Bastard. Tell us a little bit of how all that came about, and how that's been working for you.
Well, so Troy originally started what was to be Cave Bastard back in June of 2014 with our original guitar player Nick Padrone, and so if any of you know Sal Gallegos, he's the drummer from Some Girls Secret Fun Club. He's been around a really long time. Runs 31G Records. So he came in on drums. A friend of Nick's came in. A former band member, Chase, came in. So they just needed a vocalist. So about August of that year, I get hit up by Troy. I talked to him in a while, and he's like, "Hey man, we're looking for a vocalist. I've always liked your style. You want to come and jam?" Yeah, fuck it, sure. I got nothing else going on. I mean, I think at the time I was playing bass with you. Yeah. I'm sure you know out there, our friend Israel has a really killer Pantera tribute band, Domination CFH. I played bass in that band for a few years, I would say. A lot of fun.
4 years?
Something like that, 4 years, yeah.
4 years.
So that's what I was doing at the time. Wasn't doing anything vocally. Had just changed career paths as well. And so I was going through a lot of change at the time. So started jamming with them, and at first I was kind of like, okay, the style at the time wasn't necessarily what I was used to, but I was like, hey, fuck it, I'll give it a shot. And so as time went on, you know, we started having revolving door members and stuff, and you know, our buddy Steve Reed came in on drums, who was in the band Age of Collapse, fucking killer ass band. And so that was when we started working on what was going to be our full-length album. So we recorded what was to be our full-length album called The Bleak Shall Devour the Earth. I believe it was October 2016, and we also recorded some songs for a split we did with our friends from Texas Black Ops, which has our friend Morgan. He was in Kill the Client, if you guys remember that band. And so we put that out, and then about in 2017, and then in March of 2018 is when we put out our first album, Bleak Shall Devour the Earth, which was actually recorded here over at Audio Design over on El Cajon Boulevard and Rolando Boulevard. And
Is there a college area?
yeah, it's in the college area of
Yeah.
San Diego. And they have a recording studio. It's actually the same recording studio that Cattle recorded Karma Bloody Karma. But they remodeled the studio so it's in much better condition than it was back then. And we actually flew down Billy Anderson, legendary engineer, as it likes to be called, Billy Anderson, to record it. So we did a couple of tours to support that and got to work on our second album, which we actually recorded last year. We recorded it beginning of March of 2020, right as the pandemic was hitting. And we went out to Denver, Colorado, and recorded with amazing engineer and producer David Taro, who I'm sure some of you know. He's done the last few Cattle Decapitation records. He's done Primitive Man, Cephalic Carnage. I believe he's just done the new Archspire album. So yeah, it was a thrill to work with for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. A little insight. Steve played us the album, but we can't play it for you guys.
Yeah,
But,
Or tell you what it's called.
but it was really fucking good. I got to
Yeah.
tell you, it was really fucking good. Hope you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
thanks. I really appreciate that. I mean, it's one of those things that, you know, obviously, you know, living through a global pandemic. I mean, it happens once every 100 years. It's nothing that we're used to. It's uncharted territory. So to have to sit on this album for nearly a year, have it put on ice, has been kind of excruciating because, you know, out of the recordings I've done since I was a kid, this is by far my most favorite recording I've ever done. I mean, as far as what I feel that is my potential as a vocalist, and just the overall production value, I'm just really stoked on. And I mean, I'm not going to say that we're groundbreaking or we're going to, you know, start, you know, changing the whole landscape, but I honestly think that it's good enough that people are going to take notice once we put it out.
Oh, fuck yeah.
So-
it's fucking good.
No, it's a great album.
I didn't ask you this when we're listening to it. Do you guys have an album cover and everything ready?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, and the artist Varisis Otak from Indonesia, he did our first album cover, as well as the split we did with Black Ops. He did that. He's also he redid our logo. He hasn't done any shirt designs for us yet, but he's done stuff for Cattle Decapitation. He's done stuff for a bunch of other bands. So he's a really killer artist. You know, sometimes it's easy for things to get lost in translation a little bit when you don't speak the same language as somebody.
Sure.
But you figure out a way, and he's insanely talented, a really badass Varisis Otak. He's a really killer fucking artist for
Cool.
sure.
And do you have any other information about it, like a possible release range? Do you think it could be released?
Well, we're counting on to release it this year. You know, because we sat on it for nearly a year. We're eager to get it out. We don't want to have to sit on it any longer. When, we don't know, but we will release this album this year.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what we're gonna do.
All right. And maybe before it's released, we'll do some kind of preview or have Steve back in and, you know, maybe get more details on it when it comes out.
Yeah, absolutely. We're dying to share all sorts of information and, you know, just let everybody know what's going on and what's been going on. We got a lot of really cool stuff coming in the works, you know. So, you know, talking with some people that can possibly distribute it at least digitally. So we're really stoked on that.
Killer.
Tell us a little bit about how it's been working now that it's, you know, with the shutdown and everything. Is the band actively rehearsing? Are you guys holding off on that? How's it been to kind of, especially after you recorded an album, you having to sit on it? How's it been this whole year since recording the album?
Well, I mean, obviously in the beginning, when we got back into town in mid-March, that was pretty much when the shit hit the fan. And so, with everything still being unknown, we're like, hey, look, let's not meet up. I myself am an essential worker who is exposed to thousands of people on a weekly basis. So it's just like, hey, look, let's just, this is still so unknown. Let's just put off jamming for a while. And so we put it off for like a couple of months. Since the recording, and now we've actually gone through a couple of lineup changes. So we got 2 new members in the band that we've been needing to teach the material, have them get it down. So I would say since May we have been meeting up to rehearse, but of course we make sure to take safety precautions. None of us obviously go out and have any type of social life whatsoever. I mean, this is the first time I've seen you guys probably in a year.
Yeah, probably a little longer than that.
I think the last time I saw you guys was January of last year when Daniel Boyd came down.
Yeah.
That was we went to the China Club,
Chinatown.
Chinatown. We went down to Chinatown Bar,
Which is now called Brooklyn Bar and Grill.
Brooklyn Bar and Grill,
Fuck out of here! What? Oh.
Yeah, I guess they got mistaken for a Chinese place too much, and they got Chinese food place, so they got kind of like,
Wow.
yeah.
So so we've been, because we got some stuff coming up that we can't really announce yet. So we just making sure, hey, look, we got to be prepared, we got to be ready. Of course, there's no shows happening anytime soon, which is good, because with the vaccine being distributed, definitely more people need to take it before any shows can happen or tours.
I've seen some people trying to put together some shows anyways, which I think is a dumb idea.
Like backyard shows and shit.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all just have to wait it out.
Exactly. Just wait it out. I mean, it's something that can probably happen later this year or early next year. But, in my own personal opinion, for anyone that's in a rush to do shows or whatever, to me, it dishonors the dead. It dishonors the families of those who have lost someone close. It dishonors the effort that we have all put in to, stay safe, not spread the virus. And, overall, it's just, in my opinion, just trying to stroke one's ego. Like, here, I'm going to be the one to put on shows. It's like, for what? It's like...
It doesn't make any sense.
Makes no sense whatsoever. Please, anybody out there, don't put on any shows. Don't go to any shows. Let's wait this out. We're the light's at the end of the tunnel. We can do this. We just got to come together.
We all want to go to shows, but...
Exactly.
Yeah, shit.
Exactly. And if people start having shows now and shit starts getting worse, well then bands like us, your favorite touring bands, that's prolonging them not being able to hit the road, as well as it's depriving them of a living. For the bands that make a living off of touring, this has taken away a big chunk of their livelihood. So for like local bands that want to do these local shows to stroke their own egos or whatever, it's hurting the people that actually depend on this, and not just them, but sound people, riggers, anyone that makes a living off of touring, even if you're not a musician, they need stuff to go back to normal sooner rather than later. So rushing it is actually going to have the reverse effect and prolong it.
Sure.
Unless you're at church, you can have live music.
Yeah, exactly. So apparently they have that loophole.
Yeah.
Well, they have funerals there too, so
Yeah,
you
exactly.
need to be there. Okay.
Yikes.
Yeah, I don't got anything else for Steve at the moment, do you?
Are we out of time?
No, we have time.
You have some more.
You got something?
Some more time. New album. I mean, the last album you guys recorded. Can you tell us a little bit about how that recording process went for you? I know you were talking about this earlier, that it was slightly different than what the way you've done recording before, and how you prepared for all that.
Right, and so through one's experiences, I mean, we would hopefully learn from past mistakes. So my approach to doing this album is not even just mine, but the entire band's in general. Is, we just need to make sure that we were much more prepared than from the last album, and to really take the time to just perfect our sound as good as we can, be at the top of our ability. And so our rehearsals leading up to it, we kept reminding each other, guys, we got 2 months, guys, we got 1 month, guys, we got 2 weeks. And so we really just put the pedal to the metal and just rehearsed. And as far as my own personal preparation, you know, I made sure to just exercise on a regular basis, especially DDP yoga. If anyone's familiar with that, it's one of the best workouts I've ever done, but it really helped me expand my breathing, expand my abdomen. And so when we actually got there to record, I made sure to exercise every day I was there. Didn't drink any alcohol, so I didn't dry out my voice. You know, drank hot water with honey in it to preserve my voice. And so I just went at it with a different mindset of just conditioning myself. I mean, it's like when you know, anytime you see a professional fighter, they don't go in there, you know, just like, oh, they did a couple of sit-ups or whatever. No, they condition their bodies to be as prepared as they possibly can to be in the zone. And so I just made sure, like, look, I'm going to be in the zone. So, so yeah, you know, just took a different approach to it, and you know, it actually paid off. I mean, I'm glad that it did, because you know, I was never happy with any of the vocal performances that I did on any previous thing. I mean, I was like, oh, could have done this, I could have done that better, this, and this. But with this one, I was like, all right, I nailed it. I did what I set out to do, and I'm actually like stoked on it. And I really don't say that ever about the things that I do. So
The vocals are so good, it was like almost hurting my throat. Like listening to it, it's just like this, like.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was awesome.
yeah. I mean, I made sure, you know, to like just put as much energy into it, you know, because like, you know, when you listen to some of your favorite bands and you listen to some of your favorite vocals, you know, especially like in the death metal genre or in the black metal genre, and you listen to those vocals and you think like, wow, it actually sounds like this guy's dying. You know,
Yeah.
it sounds like this guy's in pain, he's in agony. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, how can I translate that feeling as well? I mean, honestly, I mean, it sounds kind of, you know, weird when it comes to, oh, metal and but you gotta have a feeling with what it is that you're doing, and
Right.
really believe in what it is that you're doing.
Right, if the music doesn't make you feel something, why listen to it?
Exactly. You know, that's what we do, is we listen to music to make us feel a certain way, to, you know, it's an escape from reality, you know, put us in a certain mood. You know, that's the wonderful thing about art, that any art form.
Right.
So, so you know, when it came time to doing my vocals, you know, a lot of it was done either from my knees or sitting on the floor, just so I could put everything into it. And if I like, hey, look, if I run out of air and I pass out, at least I'm not gonna fall and smack my head and
Wake
do
me up.
some damage. You know, I'll just kind of slump over. You know, but luckily that didn't happen. But you know, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put everything into this. You know, and I'm glad it worked out that way, and glad you guys dug it.
Yeah,
Man,
really good.
it sounds really good. We can't wait for you guys to fucking hear it. It's amazing. Tell us where we can find Cave Bastard online. Shoot it.
All right. Check us out on Facebook. Just look up Cave Bastard. You can check us out on Instagram by looking at Cave Bastard. We're on Bandcamp, Metal Archives. We're on Spotify. Not sure if we're on Pandora. We might be. I know we're on Apple Music, Amazon Music. So yeah, just check us out. Give us a like. You know.
And Pornhub.
Yes. Yes. Donkey
the most
shows all
important
around.
And your first album still available?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes. So first album is still available. It was released through Accident Prone Records. So you can look up Accident Prone Records. I believe the record store that our buddy Gary used to own, Green Noise Records, you can still get it through there. If you go to our Bandcamp, you can get it through there. The name of the album is called The Bleak Shall Devour the Earth, as well as we did a split with our good buddies from Texas, Black Ops. It's just called the Cave Bastard Black Ops Split. So, yeah.
Find it, get it. Thank you, Steve, for fucking hanging out with us. We'll have you back when you know.
Yeah,
we
and
have,
Stevie, do you want to hang out for the like local metal like rundown?
I'd love to, yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely,
Okay.
man. I mean, shit.
you can tell us which bands are good, which ones suck, and
Yeah, let's play a game. How many bridges can I burn today?
Oh,
all right, we'll be back with that one.